Hey, it's your girl Mel with ShopTalk. I'm at the after show. That's what we had. We had the after show. Hey.
Always. You know how we do.
Right. And it's a recap of what we talked about on today's show. If you want to hear today's show, you can go to blogtalkradio.com/ShopTalk with Mel. And today's topic was the downside of being on the down low. And my guest today was Eugene. Eugene came on the show and he talked about how he was into male prostitution, started at the age of 15 years old, and how he got started, which was his peers. Don't know how they got started, but we just kept, dealt with his story and how, his friends was like, hey, if you want some extra money, you can do this and blah, 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 and all that extra stuff that goes along with it.
So they didn't encourage him to sell dope.
No, they didn't do drugs because he said that he was brought up in a predominantly white neighborhood and he went to a predominantly white school, so they weren't into the drug, the drug part of it. They were on some teenagers soliciting themselves, and at 15 years old, and he was saying how it starts. If you have kids at home, please make sure that you kind of monitor them. You can't monitor them all the time. And he said that, even his mom tried to shield him, but it didn't matter. It was his peers that introduced him to that. And they told him to go on the internet. And it was like, will you do this for this amount? And that's how he had met different people. And he built up a clientele until one time he had a customer that he ran into. And he said he was very disappointed with that customer, knowing what he was doing was wrong, but the customer ended up being an upstanding citizen in the area, married, and he said that he was a minister. So he said he was very disappointed with that. And I asked him, I said, well, did that change your mind? I'm trying to understand what's going on. And he said, no, he was about his money, and he went to the place, and he was saying that he was molested, though, as a child, and how that started. And he was saying this, he said if you see people, he gave the telltale signs.
So wait, so he was molested
as a child
prior?
Right, so that's why it was so easy for him to just go ahead and just keep going. He said it started when he was like at 5 years old.
Sick people out there.
Yeah, and it was his mom's boyfriend. But he was saying, and then as he got older, he always was like a misfit. And he said that he was in the group and they felt like, or he felt like, okay, now I'm fitting in. These people like me. So that's why it was easy for him to go ahead. He was with his little misfit group.
So they basically mandingoed him out.
No, he did it himself, though. And
him being in the predominantly white area, and I'm pretty sure the majority of his friends are probably white. Yeah,
they were, but even it was easy. What he was saying, that had nothing to do with it. He said it was easy for him to go ahead and go with it and bite on that opportunity because sex wasn't like sacred for him because he was violated. And then he gave some telltale signs. If you even if you have a child, and you look for that father figure and you have a son and the father's not around, he said, just look at the age difference and why is this grown man really wanting to be around this person? And he said even a woman, he was molested at age 9 too. He said actually he lost his virginity at age 9 with a female. And so that gave him a different thing. But anyway, with his lifestyle, if you want to go back and listen to the show, you can. And he likes women. And that was it, but he did prostitute with men and women. And when you hear a male prostitute, you think, okay, they're male prostitute with men. No, he did older women and men. And to fast forward a little bit, he ended up coming out and saying that he ended up testing positive after he was done with all that. The health department called him. A young lady went down and she was positive and had to give a list of who she had been with. And his name was on the list, and him and his mom went down and they told him that he was positive, and that's how he found out. And he is 27 at this time. He has been HIV positive for 5 years. He's doing well.
So he found out he was 22.
Yes.
Okay, I'm about to say.
Yeah, not long.
I was thinking had this been when he was still a minor.
No, it wasn't. It hasn't been long. And then, that's when we talked about, is it okay? We're talking about the dating and being discriminated against. And he said he waits to tell people, until he see where it goes before he lets them know that they're HIV positive. So then I asked the question, is it okay? That's what, we were talking about. Is it okay to ever lie or keep a secret to prevent someone hurting. So he asked me the question as far as, well, Mel, what if it was somebody that you really like and you were dealing with and all that good stuff, and he liked you and you really liked him, and he kept that, you know, being bisexual from you? That was the question. Would you still like him? I said, yeah, I like him. We'll be in friend zone. You know, I'm like, I got to call him. You know, call him one, date, will not date, friend zone. We can still be cool, but So I said no. And he was like, well, why, if he was being honest with you and that's something that he did in his past? And you know me, I'm going to keep it 100. I'm like, yeah, that's just like an alcoholic, a drug addict. In my mind, I'll be wondering, what if you decide you want to go back that route? I don't have that to do. She's not doing that.
Well, that's a lot different between, for a woman dealing with a man like that and a man dealing with a woman like that. Because, but me, us men.
You cool with a bisexual woman?
We cool. Men, we cool. We get excited. We hear that. Our lady, oh, she bisexual. What? Threesome? Yeah, we all about that. Until.
What if she asked you about a threesome with another dude?
No, that's not happening.
That's what I'm saying. That's
what I'm saying. Because men, we're possessive. So, you know, it's like, all right, yeah, that's my cat, this, that. You know, I'm a crank Marshall. I'm a do
there you go. Over the top. Way over the top.
You know, we feel like it's an opportunity, like, oh, this is every man's dream. You know, oh, I'm gonna have two women at the same time, and this, that, and other. Until
two men.
Until she dropped that two men bomb.
You're not doing it.
Then you think she got Can I say the garden tool word?
No, you can say garden tool, and we can figure it out.
She has garden tool tendencies in our mind.
Okay, but what is it if two women are in the bedroom? You don't have garden tool tendencies?
Yeah, we do, but it just gets.
But she doesn't either. If she's willing to be with another female,
it just gets looked over.
Terrible.
I'm saying,
but listen.
But that's what happened.
I want to stay to topic on here. I got to get this out. Our local in Youngstown, Ohio, the local health department is found on Oak Hill. The phone number is 330-743-3333, extension 241. You can go from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. if you don't want people to know that you're going over there to be tested on Tuesdays and Fridays. 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. on Tuesdays and Fridays. And they also, if you are HIV positive and you do not have a doctor, they have a comprehensive care clinic there that they can go ahead and treat you. You want to make sure that you get treated and get the help that you need. And yes, you can live with HIV for many, many, many years. It doesn't mean that you have AIDS. And usually people who die from HIV is the complications that kill you because it's your immune system is depleting. Okay? So I just wanted to get that out there. Make sure that you go ahead and get tested. Have you ever been tested?
Have I? What?
Share your experience.
I'm gonna tell y'all my first experience because there's nothing can compare to your first time going to get tested for it. I had this young mind frame, you know, like how I was explaining to you earlier, how some people, like, they don't want to be seen coming out of the clinic and this, that, and the other because they're afraid that people just automatically think they have something. So what I did is I had moved to New Jersey. I become a recent New Jersey resident. Shout out to Lakewood, Perth Amboy,
come on,
everything. So I looked up online to where a place where I can go get tested at, and it was free and everything like that. So, and come to find out, my uncle had went back on the history on the internet, looked it up, and came at me like, hey man, why are you looking at this? Something wrong with you? And I was like, no, I did the testing. I found out just to make sure, because it was better safe to be sorry. So what I did was I went down there, and at the facility that they have the testing at, you don't have to give your real name. So you could just give any type of, you know, John, Harry, Bartholomew, Hakeem, whatever name, whatever you want to give to the people. And so I'm sitting in the lobby and I'm waiting. I give them my name. I think I actually might have used my real name, to be honest with you, because I really didn't care. I was in a whole other state, so it didn't matter. So I'm sitting there and I'm waiting in the lobby with all these group of people that's sitting there waiting for them to call them back. I watch people go back and coming back out. And some of them had, you know, they're looking excited and they're happy and everything. But then I seen this one guy who went back there with his mother. And when he came back, you'd have thought, like, they took his house, his place.
So
they took it all.
sad.
Like, he had the sad look of, like, bad news.
So now you're nervous.
So now I'm over here. I'm biting nails, knuckles, and all that. I'm shook. So they finally called me. I go back there. And this is a serious matter now. You know, we talking about AIDS, HIV. We done seen, you know, Magic Johnson hit with it. Easy.
But he living,
you know,
but go ahead.
Yeah, Magic, he got that money.
Right.
He got that money. But anyway, so 20 minutes It's all it took. They prick your finger, take your blood, and I'm sitting there and I'm just like, this is the longest 20 minutes of my life. And this doctor's cracking jokes, but I'm not finding nothing funny at this time. We're talking about
I heard that.
You know what I mean? But he thinks this is funny. Not funny to me.
Okay.
So anyway, long story short though, eventually 20 minutes passed, ding, time goes off, I check my results. That boy, negative.
Okay, so with that experience, and that was your first time, do you continue to get tested?
Yes.
Okay, congratulations. Hold on, high five. Okay, good.
You have to.
Okay, now, can we shop talk? Because I got to talk about this other stuff.
Go ahead.
You ready?
I'm afraid of what you about to ask.
No, it's not gonna be nothing abstract because I already talked about it. Is it okay to ever lie to someone or keep a secret to spare their feelings? And we talked about that. And if you want to hear about that, you can go ahead to blogtalkradio.com/ShopTalk with Mel. You can hear what we talked about there. Right. But let's talk about the new show, Primetime Empire on Fox. What? I saw on there where P. Diddy is saying that's his story. 50 Cent was saying that's his story. But I'm thinking like you said with Hustle and Flow.
To me, the show Empire, if you look at it, I think of it as the sequel to Hustle and Flow. I mean, you have the two main characters. I mean, she was a prostitute for him. I mean, she was pregnant in the movie by him. So, I mean, those could be, that could be his whole lineage.
That's the kids, right?
That could be the kids going off. I mean, she was tricking for this man so that way he can get his music.
But okay, now, how do you feel about them coming out now that it's a success to say that that's their story? And it's almost over. We got 2 more episodes to go.
Well, first of all, I'm going to go with 50 Cent. I mean, honestly, I don't see how you can actually claim for it to be your story when I don't have any stories about his baby mom going to jail for a long period of time. And you got your record deal. I mean, not taking nothing away from the man's talent, but basically you glorified you being shot and selling drugs. You got shot.
Okay, living his life, talking about his life. So he rapping about his gangster rap. Okay.
And nobody wanted, Diddy didn't even want to touch 50. He had a chance to sign 50.
Right, I remember that.
50 came to the meeting with a bulletproof vest on. This is shortly after he got shot and recovered and everything. And Diddy's like, whoa, what is this?
That's team too much. Team too much.
You got to roll. So Diddy turned him down. So I don't see how that could pertain to 50 Cent, it being his story. And also, as far as Diddy, get out your ego, man.
Diddy want to be in the video. They should have just asked, go on, get him a part in there and be fine. When I look at the Empire and I watch it, honestly, I like it. I like it because, first off, it's somebody that you know story, regardless. I mean, and you can relate.
Yeah. And
then, like, while I was looking at the whole cookie thing, I'm so cookie. I ain't going to jail though, because I'm gonna tell.
How cookie are you?
I'm cookie. I'm like 99.9%. That 1%, I'm not going to jail. Okay, and I'm gonna play the game like the last episode when she went and told old girl that she hooked up with him. I'll do that.
But I'm saying though, is you gonna come with the fur coat and lingerie, and then you gonna
see what I'm saying? He all on that.
Is you gonna?
You will never know in your way.
I'll never know.
And I'm like a mixture, but I wouldn't do nothing shady like putting something in somebody's drink. I'm not trying to harm nobody. But the little poor girl, Anika, I felt bad for her, but she shady too. She done dropped something in that girl's drink just because she jealous of Cookie. But see, Cookie ain't going nowhere, so it don't matter how much you get or whoever, how you got him. If that guy's really into that girl, he's still gonna be into that girl. But it's all about respect and what we allow people to do to us. But Cookie, I'm talking about her personality.
Both ways.
I'm talking about her personality. Yeah, it go both ways. But I'm talking about just her personality. I ain't trying to go no dinner like boom, like hey, you silly. See, they like team cookie. But the story, I mean, let's be realistic. I actually know some people that actually went through that. Like, okay, you build your empire. That's what it is. And you know somebody that's in the game. Everybody don't know anybody in the game. I don't want to say I'm not making a blanket statement to say everybody and group us all as one, but most people know somebody that was in the game that did what they did for their man. Trying to help build them up, as they say. Some of them clowns on the books. I'm still stuck on that.
Trying to build them up.
Yeah, build a man up, and then he want to just leave you. She came back and was like, give me mine. But it's sad that you have, and this is just me, and I might be reading too much in it because I get deep.
Dude.
Real deep. Is this another case of black on black? Black against black?
Yeah.
Why now that you coming out here and you see that they're doing good, why do you want to say that's my story and want a piece of the pie? This is, let's be realistic here. This is the first all black primetime drama.
You're right.
And you want to can we celebrate it?
Yeah.
Can we celebrate it? If you think that that's your story, just be like, dude, let me go on there, let me get up there. Oh, P. Diddy, I'm getting on P. Diddy right now. Stand behind the little son. And,
is there anybody within Diddy's or 50 Cent circle that has anything to do with these shows?
No.
So how can they?
It's Lee Daniels, the one that did the Butler.
Right.
And how can you say that this? I'm like, this is a whole lot of folks show. If that's the case, a lot of folks' story. If that's the case, everybody will be coming out. I could be like, hey, that's my story.
Right.
Hey, oh yeah, that's similar to what I've gone through.
Yeah, so
that's my story.
So any black movie, any black TV show, somebody can sit there and be like, oh, that was me.
Right, just like my book. They can be like, oh, that's my story. Oh, mine is true. Yep. And it's intertwined with mine. And that's why so many people can relate when they came to the play.
Right.
They can relate because somebody they know, or it was them themselves that actually gone through it. And the moral of the story is, guess what? You are not alone.
Right.
And that's what I get. And I'm looking like, okay, P. Diddy, did you have ALS? And I'm hype about that. I'm glad that they actually go into it and they educating us during these scenes. So kudos to the Empire. I'm hyped about the Empire. Don't take it off. And my black brothers, my black sisters, whoever it is, why can't we just celebrate each other instead of saying, yeah, that's my story and I'm suing them and I'm doing that? Why don't you go sit down at the table and just talk to them and say, hey, that's my story. And if it is your story, celebrate it and then talk about it later. Why are you doing this in the middle? Because what's going to happen is the education that they're actually giving us, whether you know it or not, because they really are educating you and bringing it all to light, just like old dude, the oldest son. He pimped out his wife to get the vote. He married a white woman. He pimped her out. She slept with the old man. She vomited because it was gross just to get the vote. That stuff happens.
Yeah, that's reality.
And it's a wake-up call. And then for his father not to vote for him. So now you done pimped your wife. Do you really love her? You pimped your wife just to get the vote. So it's like, what won't you do to get what you want? Yeah. And that's bad. So that's why I say we got to stop, like, okay, well, I'm suing this, and then you want it to be overly consumed, and it's tearing up the internet. They was all on Facebook. Oh, he's suing. Please, P. Diddy, you got all your money. I don't even know if you even got
you got everybody money.
Sons. Yes.
You got more albums than anybody on your label.
You dancing behind everybody's. He behind yours. Then you rap.
I had to rap.
Yeah.
I was down at the Lucky Penny Family Reunion, and somehow Diddy came behind me and he was dancing.
He was like,
take that. I was like, take what? I don't have nothing. I'm poor.
Diddy, how you get here? Like what?
He just came jamming every step. I don't know what happened. He just happened to be downtown Youngstown for 10 minutes. I don't know how it happened, but he was there. He said, take that.
Take that. All right, so he's trying to take it, but he can't take that.
Can't take that.
So let's just stop. Build each other up. Stop tearing each other down. Let's celebrate one another. And the Empire is doing good, because what's going to happen is you're going to sue it, and then eventually, guess what? We are not going to have it. And then guess what? We all mad at you, Diddy, again.
Right. Which is
because you done took our show off.
But honestly, and this is something that's really common in the black community, because like how you said, like you said, you're not alone. You can relate.
Right.
But instead of people sitting there saying, I can relate, they say, that's mine. It's ours. Say, for instance, like when I was on the radio beforehand, somebody came to me like, oh, we on the radio. No, we. Not. I'm on the radio. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like, but they take it like one of us did it. So it's, or just like if you open your own spot, people aren't going to, they're not going to treat it the same respect as if they do when they go to a white establishment in a white neighborhood. They don't go to Denny's acting stupid.
Because I respect, but I have to say this. And I'm glad you brought that up before we go, because we only got a few more seconds. When you say we, yes, it is we.
You're right.
And I'm going to say it's we because we represent one. Right. So when you are on the radio, you are the voice of the people. So you got to be careful what you say. That's why I say you can speak, you can talk I said, talk all day, but make sure you're saying something.
Okay.
So that's the whole thing, and that's a whole nother show, because I was telling a good friend of mine, and I'm gonna hurry up and go. I said, listen, you don't understand. I said, it is hard being black. I said, because when I walk out my door, I don't just represent Ross. I don't just represent male. I represent the entire race.
Right.
So, and they don't understand the pressures, because we were riding down the street, the cop go by, you be like, oh gosh, everything could be intact. You just have like a natural uneasiness just from being black. But anyway, that's another show.
But thank you for clearing that up for me though, because you
got it.
I meant to, that's how I meant to say it, but it came out.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, you're on there. You're the voice of the people, and I'm the voice of the people. And I want you guys to keep listening to Shop Talk every Saturday morning from 10 a.m. to 12 noon, blogtalkradio.com/Shop Talk with Mel. You can look at other YouTube videos on Shop Talk with Mel, or you can visit the website at shoptalkwithmel.com. My boy BK, the rest of the crew was like, no, I don't want on the after show, because they can't believe that, and they didn't know the end result of Eugene that came on there, because they were totally shocked. So we was able to get some real stuff. Wasn't that real? That was real reaction.
Real.
Wasn't expecting
real.
Wasn't expecting him to say he was HIV positive, right?
No, not at all.
Boom, booyah. Until next week, people. Shop Talk, we love ya.